quiet summer evening in Wisconsin. A man kissed his family goodbye, grabbed his kayak, and drove to the lake. He never came back. His wife wept. His children cried themselves to sleep. The entire town mourned. Search teams dragged the lake for days. The FBI got involved. Cadaver dogs, divers, helicopters. And then, nothing. No body, no trace, no answers. But here's the thing. He wasn't dead. He was sitting in an apartment in Europe, watching the news about his own disappearance. And he was smiling. Ryan Borgwardt looked like the kind of man you'd want as your neighbor. 45 years old. Watertown, Wisconsin. A father of 3 kids. High schoolers, grade schoolers. Kids who looked up to him. Kids who trusted him. To everyone around him, Ryan Borgwardt was exactly where a man his age should be. Stable. Settled. Accounted for. But the most dangerous lies are never the ones strangers tell you. They're the ones, the people closest to you, have been rehearsing for months. And on the night of August 12, 2024, it all came apart. That evening, Ryan told his family he was going kayaking. Normal, routine, nothing unusual. He loaded his kayak, drove to Green Lake, the deepest lake in the entire state of Wisconsin. And then, he disappeared. When Ryan didn't come home that night, his family called the police. Deputies arrived at Dodge Memorial Park and found exactly what you'd expect. From a drowning victim, his car, his trailer, sitting empty, and out on the water, his kayak, capsized, drifting, alone. Every sign pointed to one thing. Ryan Borgwardt had drowned. The search began immediately. Cadaver dogs swept the shoreline. Divers went into the water. The FBI was called in. $40,000 in search costs, just to find a man. That nobody realized. Didn't want to be found. Sheriff Mark Podol led the investigation. A small department, a quiet county, the kind of place where, as the sheriff himself said, things don't happen here. But something was already bothering him, because the lake wasn't giving up a body, and in his years of experience, lakes always give up bodies. Crests passed. Weeks passed. No body. No evidence of drowning. Nothing. And then, the investigators started digging into Ryan's digital life. His phone, his laptop, his search history. What they found changed everything. Ryan had been planning this, not for days, not for weeks, for months, meticulously, carefully. Like a man who had thought of every single detail. He had been in contact with a woman from Uzbekistan, someone he had never met in person, someone his family knew nothing about. And Ryan Borgwardt, the devoted father, the loving husband, had been planning to disappear and run straight to her. But here's where it gets truly shocking. In June 2024, 2 months before his disappearance, a content creator in San Diego was filming a casual street video at Pacific Beach. A man rode up to her on a bicycle. She asked him a question. He answered. That video got 4.5 million views because that man on the bicycle said something that nobody could forget. She asked him what was on his mind, and he said, "Should I go to Uzbekistan or stay here?" When she asked why, he smiled and said, "To meet a woman." He was married. He admitted it on camera. And then he rode away. The internet went insane because that man looked exactly like Ryan Borgwardt. So how does a man fake his own death in the middle of a lake and vanish into thin air? Ryan had thought of everything. Before he drove to the lake that night, he had hidden something near the boat launch, a small electric bicycle. He paddled his kayak out to the deepest part of Green Lake. Then he flipped it over, dumped his phone into the water. Every piece of evidence gone. But Ryan wasn't in that water. He had brought a second boat, a child-sized inflatable boat, hidden underneath the kayak. He climbed in, paddled back to shore in the dark, grabbed the electric bike, and rode away. into the night, into a new life, leaving behind 3 children who thought their father was dead. 3 kids woke up the next morning, expecting their father to walk through the door. They didn't know that while they slept, he was already crossing an international border. They didn't know that the search teams on that lake were spending $40,000 looking for a man who was very much alive. They didn't know that their father had chosen, deliberately, carefully, and completely, to disappear from their lives forever. From there, Ryan moved fast. He rode to Madison, boarded a bus to Detroit, crossed the border into Canada, and boarded an international flight. By the time his family was crying at the lakeside, Ryan Borgwardt was already in the air, flying toward a woman he had never met, flying toward a life he thought no one would ever find. He later told investigators he didn't expect the search to last more than 2 weeks. He picked the wrong sheriff. 3 months after Ryan vanished, Sheriff Podol walked up to a microphone and said 5 words. That broke the internet. He is not missing. He is alive. The story exploded. National news, international headlines. The case went from a quiet Wisconsin drowning to one of the most talked about disappearances in America. And then, that TikTok video resurfaced. 4.5 million views overnight. Was that Ryan on the bicycle? Was he in San Diego just 2 months before? Had he been planning this? Right in front of everyone? The sheriff's office said they didn't believe it was him, but the internet had already decided. And somewhere, in an apartment in Eastern Europe, Ryan Borgwardt was watching all of it. Every headline, every debate, every theory about him, about his own death. A death he had faked, a family he had abandoned, a life he had burned to the ground. Here's the part of this story that nobody expected. Ryan Borgwardt, the man who had planned for months, who had outsmarted the police, who had crossed oceans, gave himself up. December 11th, 2024, he boarded a flight back to America, walked into a Wisconsin police station, and surrendered. No dramatic arrest, no international manhunt, ending in handcuffs. He just came back. When asked why, he said he was worried. Worried about how his community would react. Worried about facing the people he had lied to, the people he had hurt. The sheriff looked at him and said, "You picked the wrong department to run from." Ryan Borgwardt was charged, booked into jail. His bond was set at $500 for a man who had cost the county $40,000 in search fees, for a man who had broken 3 children, who thought their father was dead. Ryan thought he had planned for everything: the kayak, the inflatable boat, the bicycle, the bus, the border, the flight, the woman waiting for him across the ocean. He planned for everything except the guilt, because in the end, it wasn't the FBI that caught him. It wasn't the sheriff. It wasn't the 4.5 million people who watched that TikTok video. It was himself. Some men can outrun the law, but nobody can outrun who they are. Ryan Borgwardt is back in Wisconsin. His case is still ongoing. His children are still growing up with a story they never asked to be part of. And Green Lake, the deepest lake in Wisconsin, still sits there, quiet, still, keeping secrets, the way it always has. And if you think this story is the strangest thing a man has ever done to escape his own life, you haven't heard anything yet.